Previously on Sister Wives. The whole family moved to Las Vegas a couple months ago.
We need to flip that around.
Everything is completely different. We've got 4 separate homes, and it's a huge adjustment. You think that's funny? Okay. So now that we're in Vegas, we've got some pretty big news. We're expecting a baby in October.
Yeah. So we haven't told anybody in the family. We've got to make an announcement to everybody and tell them. I'm worried about Mary taking it hard. She's always wanted to have more children. Her body won't let her have more.
Hi. Do you have 2 minutes? Yes.
You know, hopefully everybody will be okay with it. I'm a little nervous.
Try to talk? Yeah. Okay.
Hey guys.
Welcome or
Welcome back.
we are Tradition with a Twist.
Yes.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Tracy.
And today we are going to start doing things a little different.
Yeah.
Just to try and get caught up in the sister friends, sister wives world.
Sister something. Yeah.
So we are going to start recapping some of the seasons, especially the ones that have quite a bit of fluff in there, like season 3.
You know, we called it it was the train. It was the hot mess, right? Well, we was hot mess local, and it was taking a while. We going hot mess express for real. This is the express train, so we gonna recap the whole season, cause yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of major things happened. One of the major themes, unfortunately, of this season is Robyn. So she kind of bookends the actual season where it starts with her pregnancy announcement to the entire family.
Yeah.
And Mary, and then it ends with her pregnancy completion, with her birth, with delivery, and Mary as well again.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I find it that we bookend with starting with Robyn and Mary and ending on Robyn and Mary. But hey,
bookends, I don't want them. But yeah.
So, where would you like to start with Robyn and the pregnant? I guess we'll start on the pregnancy announcement.
Yeah, I mean, listen. She's when we end the season 2, she had told Mary. When we end this season,
she was going to
tell Mary.
She was going to, but we never actually saw her telling Mary.
And so here we are. We enter in the front door with her, and she's like, "Yeah, can we talk?" And so I guess she's expecting Mary to be super sensitive, because we know Mary has struggled. She had Mariah, and that was it. And so she knew this could be sensitive, and since they the throuple, she gotta tell her sister, her good girlfriend, sister, wife, throuple friend, that she pregnant.
So Mary, I mean, she takes it in stride, and she's like, I appreciate that, you kind of took the time to tell me ahead of time and all this.
Mary's actually a little excited, and I was like, see, this is where signs of negative throuple behavior comes into play. Unhealthy attachment is showing here, because you ain't never been excited about nobody else, and here you are excited.
Yeah. I mean, later on in the season, Mary does express that, I actually wasn't this excited or this involved, like with Truly. But you see, I have a different relationship with Robyn, so it makes this a little different.
Unhealthy.
Well,
yeah, codependence. Codependence.
Yeah, a little bit. There's some matching.
That cord is not just attached to the zygote. It's attached to Mary too. She don't even realize it. Robyn is like some type of alien parasite that's just sucking on Mary's life. I don't know who she is.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. Alien.
It's a little weird. It's a little unhealthy.
A little?
Yeah. And you know what? I might not say that even if she was like this with all of the sister wives.
And that's why I was
But she's not, and she isn't, and so that's what makes this one like extra weird and creepy a little bit.
But also, Robyn, we see in this season how calculated and manipulative Robyn is, how selfish. Like, we saw it in season 1 and 2, her selfishness.
Yeah.
But at this point,
yes, you definitely are seeing the manipulation, and her true colors are really starting to shine bright.
And it's not a Kodak commercial.
No.
You poor simple fools, thinking you could defeat me, the mistress of all evil.
colorful like a rainbow.
No, it's terrible. So it's, I mean, we can start on the just manipulation from the beginning. So when she announces her pregnancy, and there are some people who aren't exactly happy or don't make faces, you know, like of joy. They're just kind of stoic. Like Janelle is a little stoic because she's like, well, shit, we got finite resources, and here we are
with a kid, with an extra mouth to feed. We already at 21.
Yes, and
ain't nobody got no job yet.
Yeah. Now Hunter, he's also struggling because he's actually thinking very similar to his mom. He's like, we already got like enough, like more kids than we can handle. Like, I don't know if I'm excited about bringing another one in. We got more than we can handle, okay?
But you know, Robyn has to be ultra sensitive, right? Robyn can't handle it, so she's like, I'm looking around the room, and the teenagers, they're not really smiling.
Not all of them are happy.
All of them are happy. Girl, they don't care.
This is the first time I've had it too. I was nervous, and I wasn't really sure at the time, you know, what to think. They didn't smile. They wouldn't even look at me. They were sort of just sitting there like this. And I was like, oh, shoot. You know, I was... sorry. I noticed Hunter wasn't saying much, and I kind of looked at everybody. I was looking for reactions from everybody. And then when Janelle was, you know, she didn't say anything, and she didn't come up to me, and I just went, okay, this is where she's at, and I have to be okay with that.
Not only do they not care, no, and here's the thing, I think they do care. I think the problem, though, is, as the adult, it is your job to put yourself in the position of these children and try to understand where they're coming from as well.
But why would she do this? She's selfish. Why? We acknowledge Mother Gothel only wants the flower. Rapunzel, let down your golden hair. Feed me. Keep me young. Serve me.
Yeah.
That's what they... She don't care. She's like, everybody should be happy because in my mind, when I became the sister wife, I said I wanted more than the man. I wanted the family.
Lies.
So everybody should rally around me and everybody should be happy that I'm welcoming another little Brown. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's the problem. That she doesn't do that.
She's selfish.
She should. She should actually pull her head out of Kody's ass and out of her own ass and realize that, hey, these kids are going through a lot. They've never had the resources to take care of themselves properly. Now we also just uprooted all of them, moved them to a place that they don't like, they haven't acclimated to, and we still have very finite resources, and I'm saying, hey, be happy that I'm bringing in another resource, bringing in another mouth to feed to stretch our resources even thinner than they are. Be happy about that.
Mind you, you're talking to teenagers, period.
Yeah, oh,
the fact that you're dealing with teenagers, period.
This is true.
They're not gonna be happy.
No.
They're just not. They were already unhappy.
Yeah. What is Kody calls Hunter a raging testosterone monster? Yeah.
Listen, I was with Hunter. I was with Hunter all the way. I was with Janelle all the way. Yeah. Christine was extra happy, but we know she liked babies.
I think she likes babies, and she's also trying to overcompensate.
She is.
For previous, maybe what they call quote unquote bad behaviors.
Whatever. I'm like, girl. You like, well, let me look. Christine is let me look at the bright side. The bright side is we got a whole nother baby coming in. But I really feel like Christine, don't look at any of this realistically. Christine, I think, is in fantasy. She don't look at any of this realistically because Robyn don't let you touch none of her current kids. Not for real.
No, this is true.
So why she gonna let you touch the kid that her and Kody got? I don't understand, but whatever.
Because, you see, the thing is, with the other kids, you know, as Robyn says, they have the possibility to leave. They don't have to stay in the family. So, you know, you kids have to definitely make sure you treat my kids
so nice.
And acclimate them. And I think that it was very refreshing that Maddie actually put in and said, you know, hey, I get it. You know, they are saying, you know, they want us to change and do all these things, and we're trying and we're doing so much
to adjust them.
But they have to make changes too. Like, they have to be accepting of some things. They have to acclimate and change and adjust. It can't just be one side. It can't just be us. It has to be them too.
And also, I'ma just say, you know, I ain't see Mary, Christine, or Janelle call any of their kids monsters.
No.
it was Robyn,
Yeah.
who season 1 was
Yeah.
like, they're monsters.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna need you to get your 3 monsters corralled, and they need to know the Brown family situation and adapt. Get it together.
Yeah, no, this is true. This is true.
Y'all
But-
21 musketeers now, not 3.
But no, it's never going to be that way for Robyn. Especially because, again, she emphasizes that, with Kody, it's going to be a honeymoon experience. And I want it to be, anytime he spends time with me, it's the honeymoon experience. And I know it can happen because that's like what my parents had, So when he comes over, I'm so specific about dedicating the time that we spend together to only be happy things.
Yes, I don't complain.
Mm-hmm.
I make sure all my attention is to him.
Mm-hmm.
I am devoted. We do all the things he wants to do. We Netflix and chill.
My mom and my dad had a honeymoon experience for years and years and years. And I just wanted to have this sweet experience in that relationship. That's what I want.
See, I think that's unrealistic. I'm so sorry.
I know she does. That's okay.
But it's real for Robyn.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
real
what
for
she
me.
wants.
It's real for me, and I will work on it as much as I possibly can. So I do my other stuff when Cody's not around. When he's there, I prioritize. We sit there and we make each other the priorities.
Let's date.
You actually just create this really cool experience of being with each other, and then he goes and he gets to go be with someone else he hasn't seen for a few days, and he's happy there too. It really does create this really cool absence makes the heart grow fonder experience. And I hope to, and I'm planning on having a honeymoon experience for years and years to come because I watched it happen. It can be done.
Okay.
Yes.
I tell my little monsters to get it together and go in the back room because, this is Mommy Kody time.
Or really, is it Mommy and Kody go in the back room and y'all
Probably.
go play?
That's probably what it is because
Just saying.
Just
saying.
But because a lot of this season, while many things happen, a lot of it is centered around Robyn.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it, a lot of conversation, a lot of negative conversation, pushback.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all Robyn.
Yeah. Because so even I'll piggyback off of what you're saying about the whole negative experience or negative things with Robyn. Like when they sit down, they actually have the sex talk with the kids. Talking about how you shouldn't have relations, but then they're also trying to find means for the kids to have some kind of an outlet.
Right. Community. To
yes.
have community because they're just miserable.
Yes.
They've been stripped away from their church, their friends, their other families.
Yeah.
They feel really lonely and out of place in Vegas. And so the OG moms, I'll say the OG moms, are like, listen, we got teenagers. Robyn don't got no teenagers.
That's true.
Robyn don't have
That's
teenagers.
true.
We have teenagers. We have teenagers who are miserable, who are moping. We don't like it.
Yeah.
We know they need more. They're in public school. We know they need more engagement.
Mm-hmm.
And our church isn't here. So let's open our horizons a little bit to give them a more positive experience here in Vegas.
Mm-hmm. But we also want it to be with, children who are
Who
of a certain mindset
Mindset.
and certain
Right.
behavior. So they're like, okay, well, some maybe another Christian church.
Right.
That's not our church specifically, but they would at least have similar morals. So let's see about maybe having them work with that youth group.
maybe.
Now,
Robyn.
well, not just Robyn, because Christine was actually very, 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 very opposed to it. And she's like, it's not our church. I don't think it would be right. I don't think, no, I'm sorry. It's just, no, I can't agree.
You'll find a real good group of loving, accepting kids and youth here. This, like I said, it's not what we would choose as being a biblical way. Having said that, we want to be open to your family and the children and to be there for what we can for them.
And I think that's what we're looking for. We just really need the fellowship,
Yeah.
for our children.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I'm sorry. I cannot feel right about this. I'm really sorry. I tried to keep it in, but I don't.
You explain that,
This
sir.
isn't our church. It's just not. I'm sorry. No disrespect to you, but this is not our church. And I feel like we try and be open with our kids and we say, hey, you've got a world of opportunities. I don't mean any disrespect
No, I
to you. Please
understand.
understand that. I understand that we're looking for a social outlet. I understand that. But I think it'd be much more natural if they found it on their own. And us paving the way to another church, I understand that moral-wise, you guys are going to be on the same. But where does it go from that?
I was just like, this is another reason I couldn't be a sister wife. Because I would have been like, all right, so your kids can't go. Mine is going.
Yeah, but see, then if you do that, you're not presenting a united front,
That's why
and
I
you
couldn't
aren't
be
a
sister
unit.
wife. I mean, again, they would have been an all for me.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I'm telling you.
So-
I'm not in denial. I can't do it.
So they bring this topic to the kids.
Right.
And this is where we see Robyn's nastiness really start to really peek its ugly head. And that she, not only that, but that she knows best.
Yes.
she knows best out of everybody, even though she's the youngest out of
The newest.
The youngest.
The youngest.
The
The
youngest.
No, I'm
and
like,
the
the youngest, the newest. All
yes,
that. She
she's
ain't
the
too
youngest,
far
the
off
newest
from their oldest
wife.
Whatever.
Yes,
Come on.
but she has all the experience and all the knowledge, and she's the one who knows best.
That's what you figured, huh?
How? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. But so she's the wow. She's the one who knows best, right? So as they're having this conversation, and because even the kids are like, well, like some of them are like, yeah, I'd like to do that, Maddie. And she's like, I'd be open to that or whatever. And she was like, well, I mean, especially because, like, I hate our church. Well, I don't hate our church. I just really don't like it. And I know it's not for me. So I'm cool with this.
Having other experiences.
And Robyn loses it. Because then Maddie's like, didn't you say that we're free to choose our own religion and choose what we want? Yeah. And Robyn, the Viper comes out. Well, yeah, you can do that once your frontal lobe is fully developed. Right now, you don't have that, and we don't want them influencing you and doing this and doing that.
And I know that you and I are on different wavelengths, Cody, but I'm just wanting to hear what they're really
We've always taught our kids to be open. I get your point. I get your point.
At a certain age when they actually have their frontal lobe completely grown.
That's true.
What the heck is a frontal lobe?
You always told us that we could choose our church and we could be what we want.
You choose your church when you're an adult. And your brain.
Well, I hate the church we have right now. I don't hate it. I just don't like it.
Oh,
Would not prefer to live.
I would prefer not to do it.
what about Mormon church?
No.
Really?
There's a real fundamental difference here. It's like Mary and I sort of feel like we're not doing anything but just giving them a social opportunity. And I understand that the three of you are a little bit, you don't see it that way.
That's it. I know that you think it's social. It's just we are sitting here like killing ourselves basically to live this life, to live this faith. We believe it. So it's hard for me to sit here with these kids and say, oh, it's no big deal. It is. It's huge for us to live this faith. How can we not sit there and feel stronger about where we're leading our children?
Quite interesting how this influence thing comes up, because it comes up again later too.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, so that you gonna just tell them they frontal lobe? Robyn, I got questions about your frontal lobe, sweetie. I really do. I have questions about Kody's frontal lobe. I just have questions. And again, that wasn't the way to go about it. That wasn't the way to go about it, because on one hand, you're like, you are free to make these choices, but then wouldn't you want them to make informed choices, to have experience in with other groups?
You would,
right? Exposure, because again, that's how you process when you have a fully developed frontal lobe.
You
right?
would think,
but
also not so much.
These ain't your kids. Sorry.
Not only is it not your kids, but you find it okay to put your opinion on their kids, but let them say something about your kids?
Because don't let it. Because again, back to the whole when the situation where Maddie was like, listen, your kids need to adjust as well, because the younger kids were having some issues getting along, and Mary, at one point gets everybody together real quick. Yeah. Okay? She's like, listen, y'all are siblings. Let's get this together. I want everybody, and none of the other mothers said anything, but
which I'm not gonna lie, I found that a bit.
I didn't like that.
That was a bit of a letdown.
Yeah,
because Christine first, she had an attitude about it. She was like, I just don't think that was the right thing to do. I don't think it was the right way to go. It wasn't the right time.
Well, she also said, I think you should have addressed the children directly who were in conflict individually prior to bringing it into the group. And I'm with Mary. I'm like, listen, we're all here together, right? And whether it is, let's address it as a whole. Let's address it as a whole, because there may be things going on that we don't even know about, right? There may be other disagreements, other conflicts happening. Yeah. So let's just put this out there. This is unacceptable behavior on both sides. They're like Trump now, on both sides. Oh, God.
Stop.
But, it's unacceptable behavior on both sides.
This is true. It is unacceptable on both sides. Yeah.
And to not, to not have support for that, or not feel like you have support, and Robyn to be all extra sensitive and all that. But yet, when we're talking about children that are not technically yours,
children from the other mothers,
you have no problem inputting your half a cent.
Nope.
Because she ain't got to. So half a cent.
Yeah.
that's a no.
Yeah.
And again, that just might be my mindset, because as we watch the whole season, I'm just like, yo, couldn't have been me. I probably would have been Hunter and worse. Because Hunter was not happy this whole season, and he didn't hold back.
Yeah, and I think like maybe they're all just too scared to step on all the toes, or making sure that, you know, Kody feels a certain way, but
well, because everybody caters to Kody.
I have a problem. I'm real slick at the mouth.
Right. That's what I was like, yo.
Not only am I slick at the mouth, but also I like order. I like schedules. You know, I like things like that. So for me, it would be a struggle, because I guess that I would be considered maybe like the drill sergeant, okay? Because like I things need to be a certain way. We all need to be on one page. Like, I understand there's some slight differences in how we might do things, but let's come together and let's make this a cohesive unit. And it just doesn't seem very cohesive.
Because it's not. Because they lied to themselves. Yeah. Because, again, as I watch this show, I'm like, y'all are lying to yourselves and each other.
Yeah.
You are. This isn't the cohesive family unit that you want to present. And that's fine, because it is, you guys have a relationship in that you share this man. That's what it is. You have a relationship where you share this man. Now, and you have religious doctrine that tells you what you should do and how you should share this man and how you should feel and all that, right? But y'all don't like each other for the most part.
Well, I mean, and I think this is the main thing that gets me with this, because again, if this is a religious doctrine, right? And this is really what you want to do,
right?
You should all be able to get along, and you actually shouldn't have animosity towards the other wife, right? Because this is something you really want to do.
You shouldn't convince yourself.
Wouldn't you actually have that sisterhood?
I mean, you should, but they're lying to themselves. This is what happens when you lie to yourself. Okay? I said it from jump. I said it from season 1, episode 1.
So you still think that even though,
listen,
you think it's the same now as when they were living in the one house?
No, I think it's worse now.
Okay.
I think it's worse now. I think when I said they there was still separation, there was still division in the one house, right? For the most part. Because they tolerate each other, but they don't truly like one another, because they don't truly like, they cannot fathom or truly take in the thought that their man is sleeping or being intimate or having any type of romantic relationship with their sister wife. The fact that you have to hide that from yourself and lie to yourself about that is a problem. Side chicks know they the side chicks, so you know what they know? They know homeboy goes home to his wife and he still got to get it in to do what he got to do to maintain that. They okay with that. Well, some of them anyway. I don't know. But I guess they okay with it because they know, right? These sister wives will not show affection in front of one another. They don't kiss him in front of one another. They don't show any type of intimacy. And then they expect it to be overjoyed and joyful when you turn up with a bun in the oven. The bun only got there because you mixed the dry ingredients with the wet. Come on. Come on.
Well,
made the bun.
Yeah.
That's how it happened.
Yeah. I'm just saying, the main problem for me is like knowing he's having they're each having
every single
their
night.
steak extra rare.
I can't do it.
They all get the raw meat.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Can't think about it. Ugh.
Especially, and I'm sorry, like maybe it would be easier, but seeing the sores on
Robyn's
Robyn's face. Homie, you was with that. Don't come looking over here.
What is that?
I'm just
Don't
saying.
kiss me. Don't kiss my kids. Where's your straw? We gonna label that. What's your cup, Robyn? You have established utensils and a cup.
Yeah.
Don't you bring that? Keep that over there.
That is just one thing I'm not gonna lie.
Have
I tried
Have
so
we seen an
hard.
episode without a coleslaw?
I
She
tried
is
so
always
hard
inflamed.
to
I
ignore
don't
it,
understand.
but that is just it's at you every episode. Like you just see it sitting pretty.
Again, maybe we making too much of it. Maybe it's nothing.
Okay.
It look like something that starts with the H to me.
Maybe.
But, you know,
Maybe.
And it rhymes with purple.
I don't. Yeah. So, more focus on Robyn this season.
God, I can't
because
believe.
the wives they scrape together enough money for each wife to redo a room. A room. So they go to a consignment store, which seeing the prices on some of these things.
I was like, this is made for TV.
Where's the thrift store?
This is made for TV.
Where's the thrift store? Because the prices were not cheap.
Ain't no way.
But so each wife does a room.
Yeah.
Now, very interesting. Wives 1 and 2 decide to do a family room or living room, something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas wives 3 and 4
want a bedroom.
Decide to redo the bedrooms.
We got here, it's been a real struggle with the move. We've gotten into 4 homes, and we're really short on furniture. So we've scraped together enough money to be able to have each wife basically remake a room.
Today's a pretty special day. We want to show Kody, first of all, the rooms that we redecorated.
New furniture. This is the first time you and I've had furniture together.
I know.
It was like, this is so, I mean, this is us. House, and I saw the living room. It's a really kind of a Western cowboy theme. It looked great. I think Janelle loves me because I'm a cowboy. Okay, let's go. This is very, very cozy. I like it.
I'm very, very, very pleased with how it turned out.
You didn't like my special chairs and my Vegas look, did you? Go on.
Here's the seashells that we picked up on the honeymoon on the beach.
It's fun. Yeah. It's our little space. It's fun.
I love it.
Fun.
Yep. That's great.
It does.
I just want to stay in here all day now.
All right.
Ugh. I just think I find it interesting and like a correlation because it makes me feel like wives 1 and 2 are secure in their relationships with Kody, and that's why they presenting that and so don't feel the need to
enhance their space of intimacy.
Yes, whereas wives 3 and 4
are in conflict with one another around the man, and so of course what they want to do is make the boudoir.
Beautify the boudoir.
You know? I'm like, oh Lord. Lord.
So when I say Robyn's the focus, so each wife gets to do that. However, Robyn now, after doing the bedroom, and since the baby is coming, she gets to also do another room. Yeah. They go shopping again to the same consignment store. Yeah. And because, she's never had a crib.
It is my fault.
Robyn, this is the first time you've ever really had a special baby room. Or really even any special baby anything.
I know. It's kind of surreal to sit there and think he has his own room.
Did you ever get a furniture before?
No, never had a crib. Never had.
You never had a crib before?
I never had a crib before, ever. Probably couldn't afford it and didn't have the space.
Wow, all my kids get raised in a crib.
I mean, I've never done this before, found out what my babies were, and so this was like the coolest thing.
That's a good one.
She's never had a baby anything separate for the baby. I've never had
of firsts.
Never.
This is an episode of first for Robyn, right?
Oh yeah.
Because we also learn, her and Kody decide they're gonna take a Lamaze class together.
Yes.
Robyn, who has 3 children already.
Yeah.
And Kody, who has 13 children.
Yeah.
Okay? The hell y'all need a Lamaze class for?
Because
the hell y'all need a Lamaze class for?
Because it's the first time that they are parents together.
So Kody and I are going to a birthing class together since this is our first child together.
I took a birthing class 18 years ago, and I helped, with the exception of the C-sections and pretty much Christine on Truly, I helped with those births, every one of them.
I mean, we've had different experiences. It's like first-time parents, kind of, as far as delivery. Even though I know what I'm doing and he knows what he's doing,
we ought to make sure we're doing it together.
So hopefully you're in the right place. This is Birthing Essentials. Yeah, everyone here's pregnant, having a baby. So. Any first-time parents?
I'm Robyn, and this is Kody, and this is our first together. And we're kind of like, he has, 16 kids, and I have 3.
Get out of here.
So it's
y'all ain't
first.
got money
it's
for that. You want a fixed income. What are y'all doing?
It's a first.
Robyn, you should be able to just plop And Kody, 13, dude.
Yeah.
You know, you should be able to lead the Lamaze class, my man.
Yeah.
You should be able to lead it. Because you supposed to be the baby whisperer. So, the labor whisperer. So, you, my man, should be able to lead it.
They all say
y'all don't lead it together?
how good Kody is in birthing, in home births.
So, Robyn's first, right? So, Robyn, we supposed to believe that this Lamaze class is amazing for you because, you know, you got this time with Kody.
Ding, ding,
Even
ding, ding, ding.
Even the people in the damn class looked at y'all like, why y'all here? Because you talking about we have 7. This is baby number 17. You look stupid. You look dumb.
You idiot.
Fact.
You look dumb.
It's baby 17, but it's number 1 for us together.
Right. But I have 3 and he has 13. Y'all look dumb. Okay?
Okay.
They was happily going to take your money, but whatever, you look dumb.
Yeah.
Then, I've never had a crib or a changing station. Trick, you got 3 kids already. If that's something you really wanted, if it's something you really wanted in 3 children, you didn't get a crib after your first one that you didn't have a crib for.
If
you couldn't tell
you wanted it one.
And I don't care if you were like money is hard, money is tight. Okay, you
Thrift
got a daddy, thrift store, something. You could have built one in the time that you had your 3rd baby. With popsicle sticks, okay? You could have built one.
Yeah.
You could have took a dresser and did some DIY if you really wanted any of those things. So I really don't want to hear when all season we've been hearing about Robyn's first. Robyn's kids could potentially leave. Robyn wants to do Lamaze because they having their first baby together. Robyn ain't never had this. Robyn ain't never had that. Get off it.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, especially, and here we go again, with the finances being finite and tight. The changing table, I was peeping the prices, y'all. So the changing table was $260. The chair was $460. Then there was also another chest that was maybe like between $150 and $200. Now that's just for 3 items. That's still not including the crib yet. So they must have ordered the crib separately.
Yeah.
Okay, so right there we were at 4, 6, 7, 8. We're at almost $1,000, and we're not even including the crib yet, or this other pack and play that she got as well. Like, cause we see her unpacking it and talking about setting up the playpen, the pack and play.
Whose newborn baby goes in a playpen? Newborn?
Hey,
she didn't say bassinet, cause I even had to say Nicole. Maybe it's the bassinet.
No.
Maybe she's just ignorant.
No, it's the pack and play.
It's the bassinet.
It's the pack and
it was
play.
a playpen, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You put your newborn in a playpen?
It's the pack and play, yeah.
And it was of such urgency that you had to put it together?
Yeah. Which those things, it's not a put together. You pull it out of the package, it pops up, you put the flat piece down on the bottom, and then you hook on the extra little trays. It's a 5-minute setup job.
But again, you needed to do this was of urgency? Yeah, for your newborn?
Well, because it's her first. She's never had it before.
Oh, my Jesus. I was so tired of her. It's a struggle.
Oh, but seeing, since their resources are so finite, they're looking for job opportunities as well. So.
But like everything else, they want to keep this in the Dan's family.
Yes.
Like everything else.
Yeah. So Kody, Janelle, and Christine talk about real estate and, taking the test. And they even go with their prior real estate agent, Mona, to set up some things and see, see what it would be like. And then they're all going to be studying for the real estate exam because they want to go into real estate. And they're like, oh, yeah, and it offers the flexibility, this, that, and the third. Then that kind of drops off. And then we move into...
Hear nothing more about it for a little while.
Yeah. We move into them wanting to open a gym.
Family, because it's a family business. And so while real estate was a Janelle, Kody, Christine thing...
More individualized.
They need something family-oriented, right? That everybody can take a part in.
Yes.
And, before we get into this business, since speaking of family things and that they can all get and become a part of, Mary takes them to the gym.
Yes. make it all in the family
all
for the
in
wives.
the family, right? Because she was going to the gym and it was making her feel so good. And if it's making me feel so good, I want to share that good feeling with my sisters. Don't I?
Yes. So she brings them to the gym. They working with a personal trainer.
First of all, I said finite resources. You got 4 gym memberships and 4 people working with a personal trainer. Lord help us.
Yeah. No, okay. No, remember this is 2011 and it was Anytime Fitness.
Okay.
No, so I'm saying like Anytime Fitness back then was maybe like $20, I think.
That was still Planet. Well, Planet Fitness was lower, but I think I don't think it was like $20, but maybe
I think it was $19.99.
Whatever. I still.
So we'll say about $80.
All right, whatever. Not including a personal trainer.
Yes,
because that's different.
Yes,
that's a
personal
whole
training
price.
is expensive.
It can be
price,
pricey, but whatever.
But you know that's okay because they're willing to pay the price for their health and wellness.
Are they?
Sure.
Are they?
So they're with the trainer, and then you know they all start with a weigh-in.
They do, and this is where it really hit home for me, because I was like,
Robyn, why your bitch ass, punk ass, bitch ass here?
Girl, take your ass on. First of all, you about to hit us with another. Oh, poor me, I'm pregnant.
So you know
So
I
why
can't
are you
really
here?
work out.
So why are you here?
If you were working out prior and you were fit and healthy prior, it actually wouldn't be a problem with you working out while you're pregnant. But hey,
why are you here?
She's just, you know, she never had to do it because she's just so naturally blessed.
Because this is new to her. It's the first. Oh, God, here we go.
No, she's just naturally blessed because, you know, even after having 3 kids.
Yeah, she was.
I'm just so naturally blessed.
So, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. Then we got Mary. We got, you know, Christine. We got Janelle, the OG3. And I was actually surprised to see the weights. I'm not even gonna lie. I was actually surprised to see what the weights were.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, Janelle was the heaviest of the 3. Christine and Mary were pretty similar.
Yeah.
Kind of close.
Was like a 10-pound difference between them.
In between, right? So they were similar.
Yeah.
But Janelle, of course, had the most to lose. And you know, I can only imagine how nerve-wracking it is because she said, she was like, listen, I've never shared my weight with anybody, not even Kody. And I was like, hell yeah, have fun, because these is these chicks you competing with for your man, but, you know, whatever. I wouldn't necessarily want a side chick up there with me.
Yeah, but as Robyn so eloquently points out, you know, me being thin isn't actually an advantage because, you know, Kody told me he likes his women curvy. So, you know, it's, you know, me being thin, it's not an advantage at all.
Girl, shut up. I just want to smack her. Like, shut up.
The conceit and the condescension runneth thick.
Runneth over. Because, first of all, when you look at past photos, everybody was actually thin except Christine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for him liking a curvy something or other, where was it? They was missing the curves. Janelle was very small.
She was small, but she still had curves. She did have curves.
I guess. I'm just like,
no, I would say Mary was
straight.
Tiny.
Mary was just straight.
She was teeny tiny.
Yeah, Mary was straight. So maybe I'm confusing them and I just put Janelle's face on Mary's body.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
But none of them were voluptuous.
No.
Christine was.
Yeah.
She's actually, I feel, smaller
now. Well, that's what she says, like, during the weigh-in. She's like, yeah, I mean, it's bad, but it's not as big as I've been. She's like, I've been bigger than this, so, I mean, this is okay.
Bigger when they got married.
She was.
So, I was just like, you know, whatever. And I was like, you know, I don't like Kody, but all right. I guess if, you know, I gotta give you kudos or something. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I mean, it is a good thing. I think that Mary shared because it does help.
It is.
Both Christine and Janelle. Like Janelle is like, you know, she realizes that she wants to live a healthier lifestyle, to be able to do more activity. You know, moving around.
It wasn't so much about physical appearance for Janelle. It was an overall wellness. Overall, she was like, I want to be able to move better. I want to be able to, in general, just be more engaged, active, and so
she was
confident.
Like, she found even that, you know, she had more energy even after just doing a few workouts.
The first day.
Yeah.
You know, and I love that for Janelle. I was like, yes.
Yeah, and then you see she even like she sticks with it at home, and she
Janelle
does like
is the
home
one.
workouts, yoga. That's my girl.
Yep,
I love yoga.
of the OG3.
Yeah.
Janelle is the one who actually takes it most
Sticks with it
serious.
Most, yeah, because
Yeah.
Mary is like, I find it hard to get in the gym sometimes, and I just don't have the motivation, or I'm so busy, or this, that, and the third. But Janelle's like, regardless, I'm sticking
to it. We also discover that
Christine.
So one of the things is, so we know Mary is saying, she's having difficulties with sticking with the gym. Well, Christine, we discover, was a bit depressed, going through a major depression.
Depression
she wasn't
and
happy.
Anxiety.
Right.
Like she would get anxiety attacks.
And not to mention, can we please not forget, this woman really just had a baby.
Postpartum.
So she was dealing with postpartum too.
Dealing with postpartum. Dealing with your man.
With the new
tricking
wife.
with the new wife. And she even does say in one of the episodes about how she feels that Kody was so focused on Robyn and that it was a lot easier before Robyn, because now that he's focused so much on her, she doesn't feel special anymore.
No. Why would she?
Yeah. So all of these things,
all of them,
led to her having to actually be on anti-anxiety and anti-depression medications.
Now, after working out, she did say that, she began to feel a little bit better. Mm-hmm. And, they were actually able to slowly begin to...
She was on less medication than she was. Yeah.
But even with all of that, still difficult for her to maintain and manage the routine.
Yeah.
So Janelle, and, Robyn can't do nothing. She preggo, so whatever. So of the wives, Janelle, even though... probably the more difficult for her physically, is the most committed. Mm-hmm. And so that's where it kind of leads us into the idea for this family business, because the wives have all become friends with the personal trainer. So that means, it's a man. So it's a man. So Kody got to meet a man that these women are engaging with, because it's a man.
Yeah. But no, he says, I trust my wives and things like that. And I know there might be a little light flirtation, but it's not going to go further than that.
But I do want to meet him, because we're going to have him over for dinner.
Do they have him
They
over
do
for
have
dinner?
him over for dinner.
I know he goes out on a guy's night with him.
No, before that, I could have sworn they all had dinner, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
But they do get together. And that's later.
Yeah.
That's later, because originally they all get together for kind of a dinner, but then... because they meet, and then there's an investor that comes over for a meeting when they really kind of decide to talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they invited
Maybe
him over for
dinner.
food. I think it was just, that's what it was, though. They were at the dining table just kind of talking business.
That's probably
Got you.
why I'm like,
Got you.
They, they're there. And Cody's like, hey, I like him. He's kind of cool. I could definitely imagine Christine, giving him a once-over and a quick flirt. But it's all good. And, Janelle is feeling empowered. Everybody goes to the gym.
Yeah.
So guess what? Maybe we should open a gym.
We're going to go with Mona, our realtor, and Bill, our new business partner, to go check out some properties for a fitness center location.
We want to get this lease as fast as we can, because we want to be opening this gym in 6 months. Yeah. First place we looked at is a paint store moving out. And the square footage was a little bit short, we felt like, but the layout was perfect. That's a perfect spot for a sign too, Bill. Fitness fundamentalist right there, man.
Oh, stop that. Fundamental fitness.
Right after that, we went to another location that was almost a better location, but if it's not affordable, that presents a real problem. We go looking somewhere else.
You can have the world's greatest gym, but if it's in a bad location, it's not going to do anything.
Well, it's definitely one of the places we do want to look into, I think.
I agree.
I like this spot. It's ritzy. I really like the fact that we're next to that daycare type place.
But I also like that other one that we looked at the very first.
Mona, you want to look into this and that? Let's check that out.
Yeah. All right.
Sounds good.
Fundamentalist fitness. Or something like that is what he wants to call it.
He wants to call it. Then they somehow worked down to fundamental fitness.
Yeah.
Which was so much better. But whatever. But also, I'm like, y'all don't really know this personal trainer. You got an investor. You're going into family fitness.
Scouting locations for this gym.
Doing all these things, right? Now, was it Christine? One of the wives was like, or Janelle, somebody was like, while I'm excited about a gym,
It was Christine, yeah.
I don't feel very confident
opening a gym when I look like this.
In this shape.
And I'm not super fit.
Right. And, it's just like, so again, if this was supposed to be a family business where everybody is truly, truly on board, once again, there was just a lot of excitement coming from Janelle because she was excited about passing on and sharing the opportunities of healthy living. Kody was engaged. They got on board. They brought on board the physical trainer, and I guess the physical trainer found the investor, this guy who's willing to invest money.
Yeah.
But like everything in this family, everything that glitters ain't gold. They just ain't never found the pot at the end of the rainbow because they was looking at locations.
Yeah.
I guess not in this season anyway.
Yeah.
They looking at locations. Don't nothing turn up about this.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope. So we have issues with Robyn and the kids and the pregnancy.
Yep.
We have searching for new business ventures,
And
income generators,
opportunities, and just spending money in between.
Yeah, we have issues with self and medications and feeling the inequities between the wives now, or really I should say the inequities between the OG3 and Robyn.
And the new wife.
Yeah. And we have Robyn's constant woe is me, woe is me, woe is me.
Constant. Somebody need to give her.
Because I've never. This is new to me.
I've never, or I would never, or that I don't agree. Robyn was so negative.
Everything. She was very negative, but then she was also very possessive.
Of course.
So in this episode, in this season, there's an episode where Kody's at Robyn's house and he's like, oh, I need my sweats to go running or whatever. And she's like, oh, we'll just go walk down to Christine's, get him and come back. So she's like, yeah, I mean, he's kind of lucky that I'm actually letting him do this because, I don't like to let him out of my sight. And then I start to get really sad when he's getting ready to leave.
I don't have any sweats here, do I?
Well, you could throw on some jeans and walk up to Christine's and get yourself some sweats and then come back and change into the sweats. When it gets close for Kody to leave, I get a little bit sad. The fact that he gets to go run is huge to me because I don't usually let him out of my sight. I don't usually let him out of my sight.
Girl, you crazy.
So we already see the possessiveness. We already see that she would be okay monopolizing his time and that she doesn't like to let him out of her sight.
But in my mind, I was just like, but chick, you do honeymoons, so you would never tell him you don't really want him out of your sight. You would never put up a fight. You would be like, okay, sweetie, go ahead, just come back. I'm gonna miss you.
Yeah, so after he comes back, they end up going on a walk together. Instead of his run, they're walking together.
Yeah. Whatever. I was also like, I need this made-for-TV mess to stop. Kody, why you didn't have sweatpants at Robyn's house? He makes it sound like it is such a chore to go between homes because there's different stuff at every single house and he must
I think he should have 4 sets of everything. I mean, I hate to just say it, but I mean, shit, even I have four pairs of sweatpants. Oh, I got way more than 4.
But
right.
Again,
yeah.
I'm like, sir, you make a big deal out of nothing. Yeah. You do this.
Yeah.
You do this. You have 4 homes that you go to. You have 4 homes that you reside in. Yes? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure you have a drawer or a section in the closet at each of the 4 homes.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
So each of those homes should have things that you use. A business shirt. You're always in a damn button down. Some t-shirts, some drawers, some socks, some pajamas, some sweats. Like, all the things. Especially since you go to every single house every day. Come on, get it together. I can't.
Yeah.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Yeah. So outside of Robyn's possessiveness, manipulation, woe is me, crying throughout the episodes. I mean, almost every episode she's in tears.
Yes.
We'll say.
Can't.
Yeah. I think.
I would say season 3 was a tough watch for me because a lot of nothing happened while some things of importance happened,
Yeah.
but most of
Yeah.
it was a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
And it's a difficult watch for me.
Yeah.
The show
Yeah.
in general is a difficult watch for me.
I mean, there's a couple of other little things. You know, they meet this Episcopal theologian who works at Harvard, and she comes and spends some time with
the
them,
family.
Invites them out to Boston to
Yep. To
come have a
speak
panel.
on- to speak on their lifestyle, right?
Speak on their lifestyle.
And you know, everybody's a little bit nervous because
They're always like, you know, have we made it clear we're not like Warren Jeffs and all this, and Kody's just, he's worried that, you know, they're gonna say, oh, you know, you guys are liars and I'm a misogynist, and you know, it's just such a scary thought
Right.
that they're gonna feel this possibly and or have all these uncomfortable questions and blah blah blah. And of course Robyn cries again.
Oh my God,
Woe is me. Wah, 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 wah,
But
wah.
also just like, listen, let me be clear. So it's the you know, all the adults go and the older teenagers go, which was a great opportunity for the kids to kind of see the East Coast and schools on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I said some of your fears, considering the panel is at Harvard.
At Harvard.
Harvard. I really think you are not giving these students enough credit.
That's because Kody doesn't give anyone enough
Credit, yeah.
credit. He doesn't think that, you know, I'm going to a place with a lot of open minds, a lot of curiosity. He's thinking just the world is against me and everybody's going to think I'm like Warren Jeffs and they're going to think I'm misogynist. Oh, and then they're also maybe, because they are educated, they might be feminists and they might feel this and they might, like, he doesn't really step outside of that.
And they very well may. And they may not have as open of a mind. But you know what they do have? They're going to say it in a way that's not just attacking you. So I don't know that you'd be smart enough, Kody, to understand that you're being attacked. I'm going to be quite honest. But, you know, and I don't see them attacking your children. I just don't see that.
No.
I also think that the theologian who is inviting you has curated a group of people. So while I'm pretty sure it is open to the entire school, there is a curated group of people. She kind of knows who's coming, because that's usually how it works. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, outside of that, so we have that.
Yeah.
Oh, I part of that is like, so when they're talking about before they're gonna go, and Kody's like, you know, I think actually, you know, like one of the most abrasive questions is asking about brother husbands.
Sir,
So you're okay with what you do, but you wouldn't be okay if it was reversed?
And his main thing, his main pushback to that is, well, you know, mine is in the religious doctrine. That's not. Okay, so you can't even imagine the flip side? You can't even imagine the reverse?
Or you can't even imagine that maybe if it was in some other religious doctrine?
Right. Like, it is that outlandish that you can't even fathom. You will not allow yourself to think that?
No.
Sir,
No,
I
he
need
won't.
you to get together. I need you to get together.
Yeah.
And of course, your little lapdog Robyn co-signs you on everything, so she's like, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't with her.
Yeah.
I can't.
I think the only other major thing before we get to the end of the season was meeting up with Kody's friends back in Wyoming.
Oh my God, from high school.
And spending time with them.
Yeah.
His main friend Ken, who they finally come back together after years of separation because his friend Ken is just so against fundamentalist polygamy, fundamental Mormonism. And so he's like, you know, well, it was more like, you know, I was worried about your soul, like you're going to go to hell and all this. And I think actually some of the other friends made really good points. Like, you know, that's not your burden to bear. If this is his choice, this is his choice. You know, like there's nothing you can do about it.
I thought it was really funny that a lot of his friend group was like, I mean, this actually don't surprise us because Kody was all about being the center of attention.
Ooh,
and so being in a polygamous relationship, a polygamous marriage where the world revolves around him, it's not surprising.
He has it built into where he's the center of attention. And I think it's interesting though because there were girls that said two things. One, that he loves being the center of attention, but also we thought he was gay.
Right. They more surprised that they women.
Yeah. Yeah.
He probably can't fathom brother husbands because maybe that's what it would have been.
I guess. I didn't know that. I just thought he was, the dorky boy who was just trying to be the center of attention all the time. When I found out that you were polygamous, then it's going to sound kind of weird, but, I just kind of saw it as kind of a built-in way for you to be the center of attention all the time, which is exactly what you'd always been. And maybe I assume too much. This is how I can always be the center of attention. How can you not be with 4 wives and 16 kids,
I do hear a lot of slack from people in the public, like, that's just disgusting or gross. When we were in high school, we kind of thought that he was gay. Flamboyantly gay. He just had a very feminine side to him. He wore really tight pants, and he always had this thing with his hair, like he would whip it around all the time, like he still does. I'm pretty sure that Kody is not gay.
I tried to be fashionable. I tried to be, nowadays you term it metrosexual. That you're a fashionable guy who might be in touch with his feminine side.
Yeah, so he's like, no, I'm, like you guys call it like metrosexual now, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Either way, they still hit the nail on the head with you wanting to be the center of attention, and now you have a built-in way to be the center of attention.
At all times.
Yeah.
We.
And then we kind of close out the season. Of course, again, we got to bookend it with Robyn.
Yeah.
It's delivery time.
But, Robyn is so amazing. She's a champ. She makes labor look like nothing. She's like, you know what? I want to experience it the way God wanted all women to. I don't need an epidural. We're doing a home birth. The only freaky weird thing that I'm going to do is I want my daddy to be present and available at the bottom of the sheet. Catch my baby like a football on video. That's what I want. He been there for all of them, and he gonna be there to get that baby coming out of this cooter on this camera for this 4th go round.
And that is the one that really got me. Because even with my biological dad, I could not imagine being spread eagle, all the goods there on display, liquids and fluids and all of this coming out, and go ahead, Dad, get in there with the camera, get the good angle.
But there's just nothing about Robyn that says she's
what
that
makes
kind of
it
girl.
Even
that...
worse is that this is not her bio dad.
Oh, I forgot.
This is a stepdad.
Yeah, I forgot. Because I was about to say, there's nothing about Robyn that gives vibes of a girl, like a serious girl dad whose mom, like, they've been ride or die. He's like, look, I was the first one that taught you about your body, your cycles, all of that. That's what we did. I'm a girl dad all the way through. I don't care. I'm here for you, right?
No, that's not
the vibe that we get.
That's not it. Not it at all.
And so for this man, granted, listen, that's the relationship y'all have. More power to you and anybody else out there who has that. That's great. I just couldn't fathom it, as I can't fathom many of the things this family does.
Hey, not that there's anything wrong with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, so, Robyn's giving birth and all this, and,
taking it like a champ. Kody's there like, oh, you're doing so good.
Yeah.
You're doing so good.
Yeah, but then as, like, one of the younger daughters, I can't remember, it might have been Brianna.
Robyn's daughter.
Yeah, who's, like, comes in, like, wake up and come in. She's like, no, get her out. I don't want her to hear the sounds.
Please. Yeah, it must have been the baby one because, it must have been. So,
so I'm just saying. It's kind of
like,
But what's so off-putting about the sounds? I would think the display would be more difficult than the sounds. Are you saying you don't want her to hear the sounds, so if she hears these sounds at other times, she don't know what she's hearing?
Yeah,
Okay, that's right.
I don't want her hearing me.
Stay here. I was like, Robyn, I don't ever understand you.
I'm just saying, because she was moaning like something else.
But also, wait a second. If you were so concerned about the sounds, you knew you wanted a home birth. You have 3 other sister wives.
Yeah.
One who lives two who live just a couple of minutes from you.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you allow your 3 children to go stay over there so you could be as loud as you need to be. You could give birth without having to worry about waking them up or disturbing them. Yeah. But no, because you don't want nobody else watching your kids. You don't want nobody else.
Yeah.
Nobody. No. With your kids, because that don't make any sense to me.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. So she goes through, as Kody says, oh, she's a champ.
She's a champ.
So, has the baby, invites everybody over, and,
Mary.
she, One, she had to make mention and note that she was worried about Hunter with the baby. Because, and I'm sorry, but high five Hunter. She's like, because, he's like, you're not my mom, and I don't even know if you're my wife, my dad's wife, and all of this, and I'm sorry. I just think it's hilarious because it shows that she tried to come in, stampede, and run everything. Because he doesn't say that about the OG3. No. Of course, he's not going to say that about his own mom. But even about Mary and Christine, he doesn't sit there and say, you're not my mom.
No.
You're not my dad's wife.
No.
But he does with Robyn. Yeah. So she just felt the need that she had to point that out and be like, oh, I'm worried about Hunter and if he's going to be okay with the baby.
I can't.
Because again, what was me?
It's all gotta be my sob story. I can't.
And of course, it ends on not just her sob story, but her manipulation.
Oh God! So she has a successful birth. The baby is healthy. He's a baby boy. They name him Solomon. Kody is like, he says the most disgusting thing to me in my mind. I'm like, when he looks at her and he's like, you can have my babies, any of my babies, anytime.
Yeah.
Like, sir, shut up.
Yeah, you can have my babies anytime.
Because you two so great, right? But think about that statement when we think about later on. So, Mary is super excited, earlier prior to giving birth.
Yeah.
Prior to giving birth, Robyn has a conversation with her sister wives and is like, hey, do you guys want me to call you if I give birth early in the morning, in the middle of the night? And Mary's like, oh my God, yes, you must call. And Christine is like, yeah. And Janelle's like...
No, Janelle says you can call, but I can't. I'm not coming over.
That I'm coming
if it's middle of the night. You can call, but I don't know if I'm coming.
But she also don't have the level of excitement that Mary and Christine had because, So Mary's over here. She gets the phone call. She's super excited. She grabs Mariah.
Well, because Mariah's also super excited about the baby as well, and she even also makes like a blanket quilt for the baby. Yeah.
And so, the unhealthy attachment of the alien succubus has attached herself to Mariah too. And so therefore, Mariah and Mary come over super excited. Mary is like a kid on Christmas. Oh my God, I can't wait to see the baby. Can't wait. Cool. Mariah sees the baby. She presents the blanket to Robyn, who is like, oh, this is so beautiful. Maybe I think we should put it on the wall.
Yes.
Bitch!
Yeah.
On the wall, you don't want the blanket to touch your baby. She made that for her brother.
Yeah.
Not for the wall. She didn't make a tapestry. She made
it's so beautiful. I almost don't want to use it. It's like it belongs on the
wall.
I made this one. Boy. Cool. My gosh. I'm going to stick the thing on the wall almost. I love it.
Like, I was like, wow. I was like, okay.
I'm side-eyeing you.
I all the way side-eyeing.
You getting a side-eye.
And then, Christine ends up coming over. Mm-hmm. And then Janelle does come over and Hunter's there. And they're like, Hunter, you want to hold the baby? And Hunter, you could see, is nervous at first. He's like, I don't know if I want to do this, but okay.
Yeah.
The baby didn't do nothing to me.
Yeah.
And as Hunter takes little Solomon, I'm like, Hunter's going to be such an amazing dad because he just loves babies.
Yeah.
And so he's like, he has his little moment, which of course, makes Robyn light up because she's like, oh, okay, my worry, my fear. Oh, it's no big deal. So everybody comes, spends a little bit of time with the baby, and then she's like, okay, everybody, can you leave?
No, at this point, it's just Kody and the dad there. Everybody else had already left. And she's like, y'all leave because
I want to talk to Mary.
Talk to Mary privately.
Privately, yeah. And then she says to Mary, I wanted to make sure I spoke to you while you were good and emotional.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
While you were good and emotional.
Yep. She's saying this as Mary is holding the baby.
Right. I wanted to speak to you while you were good and emotional. Who says that?
Manipulation.
I said, wait, you're supposed to be sneaky with it though, girl. What you doing?
No. Well, to her that was sneaky.
But anyway, because first thing when I heard that, I was like, good. Yeah. You want to talk to me while I'm good and emotional. So you want to play on my emotions. All right, let's get this game going. So she pulls Mary and she's like, you know, I know how difficult
Like you've had such struggles.
it has been. And I just want you to know that if you decide, I would be your surrogate.
I would love to be your surrogate. I'm offering it wholeheartedly, taking parts of you and parts of Kody. Man.
I need to talk to Mary alone.
Okay, alone?
Yep.
Okay. Yep, you and I are out.
So, I want to get you while you're good and emotional. I want to know if you want me to be your surrogate. Taking pieces of you and pieces of Kody. Okay? And I know you're going to have to take some time to think about it. And I know you're still kind of thinking for yourself that maybe you could. But I'm offering it wholeheartedly. I know it's going to take some time to figure it all out, but I'm still offering. Wow. Thanks. I mean it. I really mean it.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. I've been praying about it ever since we met. And I mean it. I really do mean it.
Man. Like, I'm sorry. It's so stupid and so manipulative.
And all I can think of is, Mary, you better not say nothing. I was thinking, you better not say nothing. You better not say, I'll think about it. You just better be quiet.
Well, no, she said, you know, she would think about it, and because Robyn is like, you know, okay, that's fine. I know you need time to, you know, think about it, but I want you to know that the offer is here, and it's sincere, and it's real, and I would love to do this for you.
I'm like, girl, you better never. You better not say it. You better never. You better never. And I hope I don't find out she did. Because you better never. Because you will never live it down. You will be stuck and attached. You, girl, if you let that child carry, you.
Yeah, no. So we end it with.
But wait, you made a point. Because when I said that to you, you were like, wait. But isn't it interesting she offered to be a surrogate when.
Oh yeah,
Mary's
Mary doesn't
issue
even
isn't
is not her womb.
Issue.
Right. No,
it's not carrying the baby.
No.
So in vitro,
yeah,
would be the fertilization part. It's not the carrying.
Exactly. No, it's not. It's not. Which is I did find that very weird that that she's actually obviously had successful pregnancies. She has had a miscarriage as well. But I mean, Christine's had miscarriages and several successful pregnancies. The issue is with her actually getting pregnant with the eggs being viable or compatible with Kody's boys.
Yeah, the wet and the dry. I don't know.
Stop it! I'm gonna throw up. Ew. My stomach is churning.
There you go.
So yeah, but it's because again, it's a manipulation tactic.
It
It's
is.
just
It's nasty.
And also, I'm letting you know that I'm here for you more than your other sister wives as well.
We have a deeper bond. Right?
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah, I get you. You get me.
get me.
And I'm just so loving and so caring and
just,
so altruistic that
yes.
I am willing to rent out my womb to you.
Yes. And
because I know I won't get anything extra.
No, I will sacrifice and I will house you and Kody. That sounds creepy as hell. But I will because I just love you guys so much.
Yeah. So the biggest thing you get from this season is, again, just Robyn's nasty personality, the manipulation, I'm right, I've never, so also feel sorry for me, woe is me.
Because I feel like Robyn presents really, really sweet, but she's just nasty. So I was like, yo, imagine the most beautiful cake you have ever seen decorated. It's just so beautiful. You look at it and you cut it and it's just rotted meat.
It's maggots
on the inside. And that's how I feel about Robyn right now. She presents everything pretty, but when you really get to the nitty gritty of it, it's nasty.
Oh my gosh, I forgot one of the major things in this season. Camping.
Oh, Jesus.
Camping.
Oh, God.
Camping. For July 4th. escaping the Nevada heat. We're going to Big Bear, California, a camping trip. And again, this circles back to Robyn's disdain, I feel like, for Hunter. Like, and I don't know why is she picking so hard on Hunter? Like, so they go, and then like we see the next day, Christine and Janelle were, getting things ready. They did the breakfast and everything. So now they're sitting and eating. Right. No, Janelle's going fishing.
Right, but
oh yeah,
Hunter and Kody.
No, Hunter's going fishing.
So I thought
Hunter wanted to go fishing. Yeah, no, it was. Let me see. Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought that yes, Janelle was going fishing, but
fishing,
some people
hiking,
were going in town and
jet skiing. Robyn. Oh wait, no, yeah, okay.
And part of the reason he was frustrated was because they can't leave because.
Yeah, they were also trying to have everybody leave at one time. Like, okay, we're gonna go fishing now while you guys go do this. So kind of trying to time box and keep things so we're both done around the same time so we can all go jet skiing together because everybody was going jet skiing. So yeah. So Hunter he's pissed because he's like, they're just sitting over there doing their makeup. They ain't doing nothing. And we're over here, like, picking up the slack and ready to go. And, Janelle is trying to be diplomatic. And she's like, you just sometimes, Hunter, you have to do the right thing regardless of what other people around you may be doing. It's about you choosing to do the right thing. And he's like, what about them? They ain't choosing to do the right thing. All they doing is sitting over there putting on makeup. We ain't got time for that. Don't even need to do that. What's all that about?
Isabel, do you guys want to go fishing or go with Dad and them hiking?
It was morning and we'd had breakfast and Hunter's chomping at the bit to go fishing.
You guys, it's 10 o'clock. Let's hurry.
It's like everybody's just taking a really long time.
What are we doing?
Get going then. Find something to put away. Put those chairs in the trailer.
What's that going to help?
You have complained every 10 minutes. We're never going to get out of here.
That's because I know you never will.
He sees that Mary and Robyn are sitting at their tent putting their makeup on, and it's just making him so angry.
There's the ones over there putting on makeup.
The good and right thing doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. Get up and do the good and right thing.
There's been some issues going on with him accepting Robyn.
I think in Hunter's mind, he's looking at me and he's saying, you're not my mom, you're not my dad's wife. And this came out of nowhere because as far as I was concerned, it was kind of like we were just all trying to blend our families and everything. And then I think as adults, we're just sitting here sort of like, what do we do with this?
Do what's right so they don't have to do what's right.
You do what's right regardless of what everybody else is doing. So why don't you get up and move the chairs into the trailer?
Hunter was the MVP.
Yes.
Season 3,
Oh my
Hunter
gosh.
is the MVP.
Oh my god.
Because Hunter wasn't holding back his feelings. Hunter was like, I am miserable. You guys have made my life miserable. So I'm going to tell you how I feel.
Yeah.
And Robyn, you are catching it. Yeah. Because I really feel like he blames her. Yeah. He blames her. He's like, our family been polygamist, okay? Dad decide he will come out the closet when you come along. We gotta abscond and leave everything we know. We fugitives. Got us here in Vegas where your family is.
Yes.
All this is happening. You having a baby. Everything is revolving around you and what you need.
Yeah.
I don't like you.
You ain't my mama.
Right. I don't like you. And I was like, yes, Hunter, speak your truth. Because I think you're saying what your other siblings are feeling, which you guys probably all really talk about. But you are like, I am fed up.
Yeah.
So it's coming out. It's spilling over.
Yeah.
And I was here for it.
Yeah.
Every last bit of it, because I don't like her.
So that's pretty much season 3. There was just a lot of fluff in there, but it's
and it's hard. It's hard to like. The reason we're doing the run through the express is because so much happens and nothing happens. Because there's so much fluff, and it's like just trying to pinpoint the major things. But in this season, so much of it was just Robyn.
Yeah. It was just really fluff around showing, again, Robyn. And starting to also show some of the cracks in the family.
Oh, absolutely.
And the family dynamics.
Oh, them cracks is huge.
Yeah, so
they craters. They ain't cracks.
Yeah, it was just very interesting. I really was able to pick out a lot of the early on manipulation of Robyn.
And see, you
and
have
favoritism. And favoritism.
Like, you have an idea of kind of where it's potentially, you kind of know. You know more. And so you're probably really able to see it. Yeah. Like, oh, and I'm just like, I did something about you. Like, oh, my spidey senses is like, stay away. Evil.
Uh-huh.
For real.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. So, That was
season 3 of Sister Wives. So we want to thank you guys for joining us.
If you made it this far, please don't forget, like, share, subscribe.
And check back with us soon so you can take the Hot Mess Express for season 4 with us. But in the meantime, I'm Tracy, and I want to say, be blessed,
spread joy,
and shine
on.
There you go.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, bye.
Bye.